want to read something to you that recently came up on social media, and I'm using it to introduce our next speaker. First, I'd like to say, may Allah reward all the people that put effort into making the youth program such a success. MashaAllah, I love all of the Dar Al-Hijrah youth's programs, from Fast and Learn to Women's Halaqas to Rising Souls. Every time I enter the youth lounge, I feel welcome and spiritually nourished. I remember coming into the youth lounge for the last 10 to 15 years ago, and the progress along with the new classes and programs inspire me. The space is beautiful physically and spiritually. To all that have not attended any of the programs, please attend just one class or program. I will promise you will be happy that you did so. This is someone that posted a review about the Dar Al-Hijrah youth programming. And it's extremely important because this is where we are growing our future leaders. This is where our young people are learning not just their Fardul Ain, but they're learning about how they can be confident, stronger Muslims, how they can be better prepared when they're at public school or even in Islamic school, how they can be better sons and daughters to you Muslim parents. They're learning about how they can serve the community and serve and beautify their masjid. They're actively involved in service projects all around the community. And this is happening by the leadership of one particular man who sacrificed. I see him when I come in, and when I leave, he's still there. This is a man, mashallah, who sacrificed his time with his family, who's spending not only in terms of leading them from a high level, but also sitting and talking with them and giving them counseling to the parents and to the youth alike, who are making sure that they have a great love for their deen, who are making sure that they have a strong Islamic identity, but also at the same time making sure that they know that he understands their struggles, and that making sure they know they can overcome their obstacles in order to be excellent Muslims of today and the Muslim leaders of tomorrow. Without further ado, I'd like to bring to this microphone Mohammed Kibriya, the Youth Director of Dar Al-Hijrah. Come on now, move like you want to be successful.
With that introduction, I feel like single all over again, but I'm married. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Jazakumullah khair, Sister Aisha Prime. Thank you so much. That was a big intro. Don't do that again, please. Okay, so the youth department, right? The troublemakers. Now, let me just go through it quickly through the slides, because I was halfway eating the chicken that Amu Idrisi cooked. So when you're eating Dar Al-Hijrah chicken, this is interesting. It goes through a different phase. We'll talk about that later. So our mission has been always to really, engage and empower our diverse Muslim youth who understand context. So when I say context, we really have to deep dive into what is happening from their world point of view, right? And I've been mentioning this verse, لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ عَزِيزٌ عَلَيْهِ مَا عَنِتُّمْ حَرِيصٌ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. When the Prophet ﷺ, he wasn't an Asian sent to his people. He was an Arab sent to an Arab. So they understood his language. They understood who he is. They knew what kind of, like Prophet ﷺ knew what kind of language the young people spoke, the elders spoke. So he came from the context to give the message to the people within his community. So the context was very important for us to understand, to deal with our young people in our community. So really, understanding what challenges they're facing in our context. False church may have a challenge that Alexandria might not have it. When you look at the drug epidemic, when you look at what's going on in the public schools, every one of our young people in our community are struggling with their identity crisis. They're struggling not having enough time with their parents. So when we assess those situations, we try to understand the contextual issues, and we try to come up programs and activities from there. And alhamdulillah, we have been establishing those programs because of your donation, because of your support, because of your dua, and of course, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made these things possible, and along with our leadership support. Now, we added new staff because we needed accountability. We don't just, we have volunteers, alhamdulillah, coming through, but we needed to create, again, going back to infrastructure, policy, procedures, so that way that when I first stepped into Al-Hijrah, I heard about Amun Nadir so much. Everybody talked about Amun Nadir. Everybody talked about this and that. I don't want anybody to talk about me. I want people to continue the work. It should be a work that is message related. It could be the work that is, the taste of Islam, not an individual person. So I hope that we're able to create those infrastructure, policies, procedures to continue support the work they were leaving behind, so that when we step back, it continues. It doesn't just fall down. It doesn't just start from the scratch. And that was one of our goals, to hold, staffs, not just volunteers, bringing in staff and training them. And every time a staff comes into the youth department, Samir always takes them upstairs and uses them for another department. So I always say, alhamdulillah, we're the incubator, inshallah, for the community, hopefully. Now, some of the new programs we started was Jiu-Jitsu, Girl Scout, Tafsir Talks, and Spiritual Warrior programs. We try to do different programs based on, again, situations and condition of our community. And we do our best level to accommodate the young people, accommodate the adults. And when we say youth, we're not saying like, middle schoolers or kindergartens. We're looking at from, we start to serve our youth from middle school all the way to you're 40. So if you're here in this room, you didn't turn 40 yet, you're still considered, you're welcome in our department. Now, over 7,230 youth have been, coming through our weekly programs and qiyams and activities. We want to give those young people encouragement to really run the program, be the project manager, taking initiative on their own projects, so they can learn how to take this and apply to the real life scenarios, real life situations. And it doesn't happen just from one angle. It has to come from all angles, where we're supporting from the leadership point of view, we're supporting from the masjid, we're supporting supporting these young people and empowering them, giving them the right tools, right techniques, how to use some of those tools and whatnot, and training them. Over 412 hours counseling that has been done on our young people. So many people come up to us and talk about issues relating to drugs, relating to relationship issues. Again, we're not claiming they were professional counselors, but we have sat down, we assessed situations, we guided them so they can see professionals. Sister Aisha Prime, mashallah, joining us last year in our youth department, combining, she herself did 300 hours of counseling with these young people who needed the help, who needed somebody to listen to them, because they couldn't relate that message to their parents. And we were available, our door was open. We opened the door policy, come talk to us about anything you want, any subject that you're not comfortable with, talk to us. That help, that assistance was necessary. So alhamdulillah, we're able to provide that because we had a space, because we had that individual where they trusted Sister Aisha to come talk to them about those individual issues, or if it is a societal issues that they needed to discuss. Now, as you know, our Rising Soul Mentorship Program has been one of our signature programs. The reason why we started this program is because there was a lack of communities. When we studied the community, we understand the challenges of each community, and we looked at a family structure. We're looking at it and seeing parents are not there. They're MIA. They're not able to support. They're not able to understand their young children, right? They're not able to connect with them. I have parents come up to me in my office like, brother, he doesn't listen to me. I was like, okay, I'm trying to understand what's going on. When you assess this issue, you realize there's no time for your kids. So we created this mentorship program. We invited young professional and college students to become their older brother, older sister. Every week they spend time with them so they can get that brotherhood. They can connect with these young people who are practicing, who go through training and understanding what they're supposed to say and how to handle situations. And we have this program has been running for the last 2 years, alhamdulillah. It's got to a capacity. We're not able to, we have to tell at least 10 to 15 parents no, because we don't have enough volunteers stepping up and doing it. So we're at a level of capacity with this program, but alhamdulillah, it has been one of our signature program, providing mentorship to our community kids where they can connect with some mentors alike. All right, so can somebody play this video? I just want to end with this, the last video, as it's a community work. It cannot be done with one person. It cannot be done with small amount of numbers. It needs your blessing. It needs your support. It needs the entire community to come together and working towards shaping our young people. It cannot be done by ourselves, and we're not claiming that, of course. Of course, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can move further. So I just want to thank you, donors, for continuously believing in us, supporting us, providing us the platforms, and entrusting us with these programs and activities. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us strength to continue doing what we're doing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, working for Him, and providing community service to all of you. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum. So one more thing I want to add on to my presentation is, can I get my staff and volunteers? Can you guys stand up for a minute? Staff and volunteers. They're being humble right now. Can you guys stand up, my staff and volunteers? Staff and volunteers. Not all of them are here. Wallahi, I can tell you, this work is not, people always come up to me with complaints and compliments. I take both in, right? But the reality is there's soldiers behind this department and this community that are working. And these young people who are tirelessly putting their efforts and time and energy, not just going beyond and above their clock hours, appreciate them, thank them, tap in their shoulder and make dua for them so they can continue working for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for all of us. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.